Hi you guys, it's Tonya Gibbs, and today I want to share with you a project that I've created for Die-namites Dies. We're having a baby themed blog hop, and I will put a link down below so you guys can take advantage of the hop. Our design team will be sharing projects from October 13th through the 20th, 2014 using the brand new arrival dies. These are the new baby dies. We will select from the comments, we will randomly select a $50 gift certificate to Die-namites Dies, as well as 5 $10 gift certificates to Die-namites Dies. So leave a comment every single day for the most chances to win these fabulous prizes. So again, the links will be down below. Today I'm going to feature the Lovely Footprints die, the Fancy Crib die, and the Lacy Rattle die. Each of these dies is very versatile. You can use them in multiple ways. On this one, you could cut off the mobile and the little extension arm to have this crib have a completely different look. You could also cut off the little scallops down here at the bottom. Super cute. On the Lovely Footprints die, I've used the swirls, independent from the die cut. You could also use these little teeny tiny feet on something as well. So cute. And then on the Lacy Rattle die, you could even cut off the little bows and use those in your floral sprays too. So a very versatile die set that I have here. You can use for multiple things, which you know how much I love to do that. In addition to these 3 dies, I'm also going to use the swirly butterfly die, the summer branch die, the winter bouquet die, the birdhouse branch die, the Jack and Jill flowers, the spring doily die, which I believe is probably the most versatile die that I have in my stash. I use this on every single project. I mean, it's my go-to die, so I absolutely love that one. It's a beautiful, it's a little less than 4-inch diameter doily. And then this is the ivy corner die, which I've also used quite a bit. You can cut this in half and use it for multiple things. So for today's project, I am going to use the paper collection from My Mind's Eye. This is the Just Saying line. We used this in the Ustream. It was part of the kit for that Ustream. So I am going to finish off this kit today using this project. So if you purchase that kit, then you can easily follow along here. I killed the kit, so to speak. So let's go ahead and get started. I have a little mini album that I want to share with you guys today. Let me get these dies out of the way. So for my mini album, I used the paper collection, like I said, as a 6x6 mini album. And I've taken and reinforced the covers with chipboard, and then the interior pages are just simply the paper collection. And I just decorated both sides of it to maximize the patterns. And then I've bound it with my square my square cinch, and I've bound it with a 3/4 inch spiral. And then I've taken and covered the spine with this beautiful eyelet fibers, and then added a little charm that says love. These were all things that were in my stash. On the die, you can tell that the crib is a really beautiful, nice size die. I've added a piece of scrap to mimic the crib sheets, and then I've added a little piece of lace in the background so that it peekaboos over the top of the crib sheets like a bumper pad would do. So it's super cute. Then I've used the ivy corner die I've cut it in half and then used it on each side of my floral spray here to kind of bring some of that floral element up into the ribbon area here. It's so gorgeous. So on the inside, this is going to be a gift my daughter's going to give to a friend of hers who's having a little girl at a bridal or baby shower. So what we've done is I've wanted her to have a lot of areas, since this is a first time new baby. I wanted her to have a lot of areas for photographs. So I've created a pocket here, and I've added this little photo mat here that will hold 4 pictures, and then just used some baker's twine and a little charm to hang from the edge. The charm says sweetheart. I've used the swirly butterfly die in my floral spray, and in my Ustream I taught you guys how to create these flowers, so you can go back and reference that post if you'd like. It's here on YouTube. And then this is the butterfly swirly die as well. On this page I've used the Jack and Jill flowers as like just a little area around this photo mat. Just took out some little ephemera type pieces to make this little embellishment cluster at the bottom. This is that no shed glitter paper from Cosmo Cricut that's gold, and I just punched it with a heart punch and added some wood veneers and then just a stamped label with some of the little enamel dots that came with the collection. Then on this side I took the ivy corner die and I cut it in half and then just made a little embellishment cluster here. This is a perfect spot for the mother to either journal about the photo here on the side, or she can also add another photograph here and journal off to the side here. So on this page, I've taken my butterfly swirl, or my swirly butterfly die. Let me pull it out so you can reference it. And I've trimmed away the swirl, and I've just added it here to my embellishment cluster. And then I also used one of the little flowers from the winter bouquet die here to tuck in around my little floral spray. So it's very nice to be able to take and cut these little dies apart and use them in pieces and parts too, to build out additional floral sprays. And then this opens up to reveal it has 3 really nice spots for 3x5 photos. Now I also took these were just letters that were in my stash. I've made words out of them, and I have little pieces and parts left over, so I mixed and matched them to create the word babe. I didn't have the word baby, but I did like this style of lettering. It kind of reminded me of those wooden blocks that have the lettering on them that we often see with baby stuff. So it's okay to mix and match your fonts in your alphas. I think it makes a very interesting look if you mix and match them. So don't be afraid to do that if you have some that you just have a random letter here and there. It'll make everything really interesting. So on this side, I've taken the filigree that is on the lovely footprint die, and I'll just place this here so you can see. So I've just taken the little filigree pieces that you see here with the flowers, and I've tucked them in around this floral spray here. So it's nice to be able to cut some pieces and parts off of these dies, like I said, to add them around, and then just trimmed it out with a little bit of Prima bling at the bottom. I've left all of these open so that the photo can slide nicely behind all of these elements. On this side, again, I used the swirly butterfly, and this time I cut the tail off the butterfly and added it here, and then put the butterfly at the top. I love to make embellishment clusters like this out of my scraps, so I encourage you to go through your little leftover ephemera pieces and your scraps of paper and see if you can't make some of these little embellishment clusters. They're perfect for any of your paper crafting projects, cards, layouts, project life, whatever. And once they're all put together, you can just easily flip through them and add them to your projects. Over on this side, I used the summer branch die, and I've left it where it's not glued down on these little branch pieces, so it gives a little bit of depth. And then peekabooing down here, you can see the spring doily die. And then on this side, I used the bird and branch die, and I removed the bird houses from the bird and branch die. Ignore the phone, I am. And then on this side, I've used the winter bouquet dies, and I've added a little bit of chalking on it to give it some color and interest. And then on this side, I've added the ivy die. And then this is the lacy rattle. I've cut it 2 times. The first time I have added it in gold I've put a little bit of gold on it. And then the second time I cut it out and used just the cuts from the bows and put them on top. And then to hide where these transition together, I just added a little flower with one of the brads from the collection. On this side, I thought the glassine bags would offer a really nice keepsake place for maybe a lock of hair, or perhaps even some of the little floral gift cards that you get in when you're in the hospital. And I showed in the Ustream how to create these. These little butterflies were created with a Heidi Swap stencil. I used whip spackle, and then I heat embossed it with gold heat powder, and then fussy cut out the butterfly when I was finished, and it makes these really cute looking gold butterflies. And again, that was a technique I shared in the Ustream. Then I've also enclosed another tag where she can use some journaling or another photograph there. On this side, this is the Lovely Footprints die again, and these are the ones we're featuring today. I've cut it out 3 times. The first time I cut it out was out of pink paper so I could have the little toes and the feet one color, and then I cut it out in white cardstock, and then what I did on that one was I colored it with the green chalk. Then I cut it out one more time with the white, and then I paper pieced the white elements that you see here on top so that I could get a really nice clean edge whenever I colored up my vines. Then on this side, this is the last page of the mini album, and I have a little tag that's peekabooing out here. I've added a little small piece of that summer branch down here at the bottom. Don't be afraid to cut your dies and tuck them in where you can. I've made an envelope out of just some scrap cardstock that I had. I created it with the envelope punch board from We Are Memory Keepers, and then on the flap of the envelope, I added this gold the gold glitter paper from Cosmo Cricket so that it would have a nice shimmer. And then when you open it up, I velcroed on the edges here, and then I left this open so that she could put some keepsakes in here as well, like maybe the armbands that come from the hospital would be nice to be trapped up in here. And then there's also a place in here where I can tuck in a gift card. And also additional photos could be added to this. This is the perfect size for your little Instagram photos, which we know are very popular today. So thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to go over to the blog and see the projects that the other design team members have created. They're fabulous, and I will put a link to that below. Thank you also for your comments that you leave here as well. I really appreciate seeing them. I hope you've enjoyed my little mini album share today. The comments that are left here are not eligible for the drawing. You do have to go over to the blog to leave those comments. So make sure that if you want to be entered, that you go visit that site. And again, I'll put the link down below. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today.